Hello, everybody. I am going to quickly go back over kind of what a body paragraph should look like. I don't think I did a very good job yesterday making sure you know those specific things that needed to go in there, so I want to clarify and make sure that you all write the best body paragraphs that you can. What I'm going to show you is a fairly traditional structure of a body paragraph. You are able to kind of veer away from that, but I encourage you, if you are not feeling very confident, go ahead and use this similar structure. If you have written just single paragraphs before, which I know you probably did last year in 7th grade, you can use that structure to create each of your individual body paragraphs. So the main components of a body paragraph would be a transition word right at the beginning. Okay, your transition is almost always going to be followed by a comma. Especially if it's at the beginning of the sentence. Sometimes they can come a little bit after, but you need to have some sort of transition word in that first sentence. Then you're going to want to have a topic sentence. So this topic sentence is going to be introducing what your entire paragraph is about. This topic sentence in your plan is the big idea. Okay, so in your plan, whatever you had as your big idea, that is your top. You're going to turn that into a complete sentence. From there, each of your big ideas have big ideas. I know that seems kind of silly, but in your plan, these are going to be the major things that you want to say about this big idea. Okay, it's very similar to when we did, we had our topic and then we went to our subtopics, right? Okay. This big idea is this first subtopic, and then you're going to go down another level. Okay, and then that's going to be these big ideas. Okay, so you're just getting more and more specific as you go. That's what the body paragraphs are for, is where you go into extreme detail. So you have your big idea of the paragraph and then supporting details and evidence. If you provide evidence, right, a quote or a fact, you always want to make sure you follow that up with your own words. Okay, so when you're using your own words, that is kind of your analysis of that information. That's what sets your essay apart from just being a collection of facts, right, that I could find on the internet anywhere. I want to see your words. I want to see your thoughts in your essay. So I have written a paragraph, and I noticed that I made some errors in my academic language because I was writing it to you. But that is something I could easily fix and go back and edit. Okay, you're always going to be editing. English teachers don't even get it right necessarily the first time. So I started with my transition. So I have, for example, you want your body paragraph to have a very specific topic. Okay, so that is my topic sentence. Everything that I wrote about should have to do with that body paragraph having a specific topic and those particular components that go into that. Then I went on to my big ideas of my paragraph. So I have, as a small piece of a larger topic, needs to be detailed and is a place to showcase all of your research. Okay, so again, that goes with that, a specific topic. Okay, and then the darker red is going to be the supporting detail. So you can see here, I had a quote. I made it up, but if I were to cite my research, notice I have another sentence that comes after it that goes into more detail about what that says. So the smaller piece needs evidence to back it up. And so that was going to be my piece of evidence. And then the evidence provides more detail and proof. So I'm just kind of summarizing what that means in my essay. Okay, then I'm going to go to my next big idea, and then my supporting detail, and my last big idea, and my last supporting detail. Okay, so going back and forth between those big ideas and supporting details is a really easy way to format your paragraph. Okay, your body paragraph is probably going to be anywhere from 8 to 10 sentences. Okay. If it gets much larger than that, you might need to look at breaking it up. If it's really short, you may not have enough information to fill that paragraph. So again, you're going to do transition, your topic sentence, which is what the overall paragraph is about. You're going to have big ideas, and you're going to have supporting details in that body paragraph. The next thing I'm going to talk about is citing your source in your paragraph. So I kind of showed that a little bit with my sample paragraph, but I want to go into a little bit more detail quickly. You should have already created your in-text citations, but I do want to make sure we understand where those are actually going to go in your essay. So an in-text citation is how you cite your source in your essay. They are put in parentheses. Okay, so this lets your reader know that this is not an actual part of your sentence, but it is some extra information. Okay, and it's going to be followed by the punctuation mark always. Okay, so that's what that says right there. So here's an example. Cardboard could not be found in Europe until the 19th century. So that came from an article called Boxes, and it was found in paragraph 1. So I have my parenthesis, the in-text citation that you should have already created, and then a period. Remember that in-text citation is going to be the first word of MLA citation plus the paragraph or page number. You can sometimes do without that. Sometimes in a video or something like that, you're not going to have a paragraph number, but I encourage you to do that. It could be the last name of the author, the first word of the article, or a few words of the article title. Those are all accepted. Okay, so you're going to put that in there. You also can cite in the sentence. So you could say according to, and then do the first and last name, and then later just the last name. And then you would just need to put the page or paragraph number at the end. Okay, so that would be with a quotation, or you could do it with a paraphrase, right? It doesn't matter if you're paraphrasing or quoting. If it's not your idea, you need to cite it. All right, so the last thing, when you are citing a quote, the punctuation mark is going to move out of the quote, out of the quotation. The punctuation mark is going to move out of the quotation mark. Okay, so for example, horses are measured in a unit called hands. Okay, if I was originally writing it, I would have the period right here, but I'm going to move it out past my citation, and it goes after the citation. So even with quotation marks, you're going to have to do that citation before you put your punctuation mark at the end. Okay, if you have several different ideas that all go with the same exact citation, you can just put that at the end. Okay, if you pulled it from different pages, they need to be their own citations. All right. The last thing I am going to talk about is going to be writing a conclusion. So when you are writing a conclusion, it is going to be very similar to your introduction. So your introduction starts with the hook, the bridge, and then the thesis. So we've already talked about that. But your, hold on, let me grab a pen. Sure. So your hook, your bridge, and then your thesis, okay? You are getting, I like to think of it like a triangle, right? You're going to start broad and you're going to get specific, right? You start with that hook, bridge, and then thesis. This is your most specific idea. Okay, a conclusion is going to do the opposite. You are going to start with that thesis. You are going to do a summary and a bridge to a hook at the end. So you're going to start specific and you're going to go back out and make it broad. Okay, so your essay should look like an hourglass, right? Because your body, the body of your paragraph is going to be really specific, really focused. Okay. So you want to remember your ideas in your conclusion should be similar, but not the same. It should not be word for word what your introduction is. Okay, your thesis statement, you're going to say in similar words. Your summary and bridge, you're going to say in similar words. And your hook should be completely different than your introduction. Okay, it should still do with your topic, but I don't want to see the same hook twice. All right, so you're going to start your conclusion with a transition to signal that it is the conclusion. Okay, some of your options: as a result, in conclusion, therefore, in other words, on the whole, hence, ultimately, thus. Okay, you can look up some more if you would like, but these are some pretty common ones. And then you're going to have your thesis statement that's going to come directly after it. So I've come up with one. It says, ultimately, writing a research essay is a manageable task for 8th grade students. So if my essay was about writing a research essay and how it's easy for 8th graders to do, I would then go into detail and summarize all of the main points of my essay. So those big ideas. You're not going to get super specific, but you do want to remind your readers of all of the great points that you had. Okay, and then finally, you will have a hook at the end to leave your readers with something to think about. Okay, again, this could be a quote. It could be an interesting fact. Okay, a strong statement. It could be a story, something to make them think. I would not end in a question, okay? I would not end in a question. It's just not, it's not the best way, and you're supposed to have in a research paper answered all of the questions by the end. Okay, so really think about what you want that hook to be and make sure it is not the same as the one at the introduction. So I've gone over your body paragraphs, in-text citations, and conclusions. So at this point, you should be ready to finish up your essay. If you have questions, please email me. I will do my best to get back to you. Have a great day.